About uric acid, I see quite a few patients with high uric acid levels. They come to me on their own. They do their blood test on their own, and they come to me and they tell me that they've got joint pains and uric acid is the reason. Um, Not true, because if you've got gout, you don't really forget it. You don't usually need a uric acid blood test to diagnose gout, because gout affects one joint, and it's extremely painful, and it's the worst pain in your life. And if you get it, you're not, you'll never forget it. And it's very easy to diagnose gout because the joint is swollen, it's red, it's like a tomato. And it's so tender that the patient will not let you even touch that joint, and you won't even feel like touching the joint. That's how bad it looks. Mm. So usually the people who say that they've got uric acid problems don't have gout. They have a uric acid problem, there's no doubt about that, but the uric acid is not a cause for their joint pain. So what is uric acid? The uric acid is a metabolic byproduct that is produced, and high levels of it can cause gout, like you said. But you're more concerned about what it does to the rest of the metabolic processes. So uric acid acts as a signal that helps your body to deposit fat. So it used to be pretty handy when we were starving as primates in a temperate forest. So having that high level of uric acid would help the body store fat so that it could last longer, survive longer in the winter, because you've got those fat deposits. But these days you don't have a caloric deficit. So if you have a high uric acid level, you'll just keep depositing more and more fat, and you get fatter and fatter, and ultimately you'll die because of obesity related problems. So that's why uric acid is important, not just because it's gout. Now, people tend to think of only red meat and shellfish and legumes when it comes to uric acid. It is true. Red meat and legumes and shellfish are all responsible for higher levels of uric acid. But it also, uric acid is also a metabolic byproduct from fructose metabolism, especially when you overconsume fructose. So fructose comes in sugar, comes in fruit juices. It comes in fruit too, but it's just that you get a smaller dose of it, so it's not a huge problem. So if you've got high uric acid, you've got to think about not just the red meat that you're consuming and not just about the shellfish that you're consuming. You also have to think about your sugar intake. Now, the funny thing is, most people don't consume red meat daily. They consume small amounts of it on a weekend, or maybe they might be doing it once or twice a week. What they are consuming on a daily basis, probably twice a day, is sugar in their milk and coffee, or fruit juices, shakes. Supposed to be healthy, but this is what it does. It raises your uric acid levels. Or if you're having large amounts of carbohydrates, and you're adding sugar to that stuff, and there's hidden sugar. If it's processed food and there's hidden sugar, there's sucrose in the processed food, but you can't really taste it and you can't really see it. All that adds up, and that tends to spike your uric acid. So in my experience, more than red meat, more than shellfish, and more than legumes, what they're actually having a problem with is an excess of fructose in their diet. And if they reduce the fructose, they're going to have less visceral fat, they're going to have less obesity, less hypertension, and less diabetes. So uric acid, you need to rethink what we thought we knew about uric acid. It's all there in the textbooks. It's not just red meat, shellfish, and legumes. It is also fructose. So if you reduce the amount of uric acid, the fructose that you consume, your uric acid levels will come down. And that's not just good for your gout, that's also good for every other disease that I mentioned earlier. So that was that short video on uric acid. If you've got any more doubts, let me know. Thank you.